Hi everyone, it's Erica from Fitness Blender, and in our workout today we are both efficiently and effectively going to be focused on strengthening all of the muscles in the upper body through bilateral, unilateral, and partial repetitions. We're going to utilize a lot of foundational exercises that you are probably very familiar with. When it comes to equipment, you'll want a range of weights. I'll be using anywhere from 6 to 21 pounds, as well as a mat or a supportive surface beneath you, especially for our floor exercises that we'll be doing. Your warm-up and cool down is included, as well as modifications throughout the routine. I will say your default modification is to simply lift lighter weights. I'll be sharing more on that shortly. And of course, I'll be giving you some great tips along the way. Let's go ahead and begin. Our warm-up today will consist of 6 exercises, and we'll do each exercise for 40 seconds each. We're going to begin with a cross-body arm swing. And then once your arms are out, you're going to bring them up to the top and back down. So each time you're bringing those arms over one another, kind of hugging yourself, you're utilizing a different arm each time. Reaching nice and high, feeling everything moving in your shoulders, through your chest, your back. Reach long, reach high. Okay, we're going to stick with the lateral raises here, but we're just going to hinge over to target our back a little bit more. So you're going to feel the backs of your arms fire up, backs of your shoulders, as well as your upper back, your lower back, especially the more hinged over you get. If you truly go to that 90-degree mark, you're really going to feel it. Wonderful. I can already feel my arms firing up. So a slight hinge this time, working against yourself, doing a hammer curl and a tricep kickback. So hammer curl, tricep kickback, and then do a little lift with the straight arm. Bringing all of that blood into our upper body, mentally preparing ourselves for this very quickly moving workout. I know you're going to get a lot out of it. Bringing it to the floor next. Okay, we're going to alternate stretching our chest. You're going to bend one arm, straighten one arm as you come into this chest area. So it might help to look the other way. You can kind of bend that arm you're stretching. Just kind of experiment with what gives you that good stretch. All right, coming into some regular push-ups. I'm going to stay on my knees. We're just warming up. So we're lowering between those hands, elbows come out to the side and angled a little bit towards our hips. Squeezing the booty, the midsection. And then we will do a bicep push-up for our last warm-up interval. Okay, so to get set up, come right down to your tummy. We're going to stay on those knees. I want you to flare your fingers out and bring them a little bit closer to your hips and a little bit more in towards your ribs. So you're pressing up and down. Notice this different angle. Both on your chest. You're going to feel this a little bit in your shoulders, but we're really trying to target the front of the arms, front of the upper arm, the biceps. I can feel mine firing right up. It might not be the case where you're fully straightening your arm. I am feeling it plenty right here. Okay, due to keeping this workout efficient, if you want to go ahead and warm up a little bit more, feel free to do it. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into our workout. For this first part of our workout, we're going to focus on the larger muscles of the upper body, so the chest, the back, and the shoulders. We're going to do 2 exercises for each muscle group. Those 2 exercises will work the muscle from a little bit of a different angle. And it's going to be broken down into 3 25-second intervals back to back. So for instance, we're starting with a wide row. First 25 seconds, bilateral movement, both limbs. Then we will alternate for the next 25, and then we will go ahead and do partial repetitions. We're going to try to go to that hardest part of the motion as we're doing those partial reps. So this is about 1 minute and 15 seconds. It's a long interval in total. So you might want to go a tiny bit lighter on these exercises than you typically would. So again, we're starting with that wide row. I'm going with 2 15-pound weights. Let's go ahead and begin. I also didn't mention 25, 25, 25, then a 20-second rest. Then we'll go into our next back exercise. Then we'll head into the chest. And then at the end, we're going to do a little bit of an isometrics burnout just for those muscles. So this is what part 1 looks like. Let's go ahead and start. I'm grabbing my 2 15-pound weights, hinging over, bilateral movement first, so both limbs. So I've got my palms facing my body, pulling up and out with those elbows. We have 25 seconds on the clock. Really feel those back muscles squeezing as you lift especially and as you lower. We'll move on to our alternating movement now. Okay, so 1 limb at a time. 1 arm up. Second that lowers, bring that other arm up. This is a relatively shorter workout. All in all, our workout time is about 18 minutes today. So we are making use of it by doing these back-to-back tri-sets. Okay, partial repetition. So if you're able, I would say come to the top and lower halfway. Personally for me, I can't maintain that with this weight. So I'm just going to go halfway and down. You're still going to feel this, whatever side of the partial rep you do. "20 seconds rest." We're into a reverse fly next. I'm using 2 6-pound weights. So as you can see, we are moving quickly, but we're already halfway done with focusing on our back. So get that hinge in, regular fly. Again, thinking about bringing the halves of those backs together. This is a super efficient way to train, not wasting any time. All right, 1 at a time. Recruiting our core stability whenever we're moving 1 limb at a time. I can feel that back firing up. Slight bend in that elbow as you lead. And then partial repetition coming next. All right, about halfway up and lower. So we are dynamically working our muscles from every angle and in multiple different ways with these 3 variations. Okay, we are into our chest presses next, into the chest. So I'm using 21 pounds in each hand. Coming down to your back. Bringing your elbows wide. So fully down, fully up, both limbs at a time. Squeeze your midsection, even brace your lower body. All right, and we're alternating, lowering one at a time. That bracing of the total body really comes into handy here when we are feeling a little bit more recruitment in our stability. Partial reps are up next. Okay, so you can lower halfway and come to the top, or you can start at the very bottom, pulse up halfway and lower. You have multiple ways to challenge yourself in this workout. Do the hardest version you can until you need to make it easier. Okay, carefully come up, switch those weights. If you need to, I'm doing 15 pounds for our chest flies. Okay, so both arms lowering, slight bend in the elbow, right back up. I am sure most of you know proper form on a lot of these exercises because they are very foundational exercises you'd see in a lot of other workouts. Alrighty, and we're alternating. The reason I chose these very straightforward exercises is because we already have a lot going on with these variations. Also, these are really great exercises to become strong in because they are movement patterns that are involved in so many exercises. All right, now we're into the partial. So lowering halfway and up is most likely where a lot of us will be. Keep breathing. We will be into the shoulders next. All right, stand it on up. Shoulder presses come next. I'm actually going to stick with this same weight. So 15 pounds will be straight out and up. So elbows are wide. Shake it out. Take some deep breaths, get the oxygen in. All right, 25 seconds, straight up and lower. Be aware of what's going on in your lower back. So you want to curl that pelvis under, protect the lower back. All right, alternating this time. So you can start at the top or start at the bottom, giving you so much autonomy throughout this. Partial repetitions, I need to take a break because I'm outdoing myself on this one. Partial reps. Almost there. All right, and we're into a new shoulder exercise. I am doing 9 pounds to each hand. We have lateral raises next. Okay, so again, that slight bend in the elbows, lifting straight out, a little bit in front of the hips. and alternating one at a time. So after this, we have 25 seconds each of holding an exercise. So we'll do one for the back, one for the chest, and one for the shoulders. So we are really coming into the home stretch here before a water break. Even it out. And that partial rep, so halfway up and down. Make sure those weights don't come crashing in. You've got this. Okay, and that 20-second rest. The first hold that we're going to do is for the back. So we're going to do a Superman hold. So you're on your tummy. Arms and legs are going to be lifted, okay? Last minute and 15 seconds of work before a water break. And your last time working these 3 muscle groups. So we want to reach those arms straight. We want to straighten the knees, lift the quads, squeeze the booty. We'll be into a push-up hold next. So coming into a hold, I'm coming to my knees. You could totally be up on your toes right now. We have those elbows slightly angled behind, squeezing midsection, booty, everything. Those arms are going to shake. That's okay. You're doing all the right things. And a downward dog hold. Be careful on this one. Any sort of micro bend you can get in the shoulders, in the elbows, the better. But please be careful of not pushing it too hard. Whew, all right. How about that for a first half? We're gonna go ahead and take a water break and come back to work the biceps and the triceps. We are going to follow that exact same format for the biceps and the triceps. So it'll be 2 exercises for each muscle group, 3 times we'll repeat the 25 seconds with our variations, and then at the end we will have a hold for each of those muscle groups. So I've adjusted my weights. I'm using 15 pounds for this first exercise in the second half. We're going to be doing a wide bicep curl. Let's go ahead, finish this off. So palms are facing out, elbows are by your side. Shoulders roll down and back. Full range of motion. The bonus is that this second part is much shorter than the first part because we're only working 2 muscle groups. Okay, getting ready to alternate. So one at a time. There's really no need to rush. We want to increase that time under tension. That's the whole point of me doing the muscle groups back to back in the format of this workout. We really scorch one area to strengthen it. And part way up and down. So about halfway and then lower. I'm going to go a little bit lighter for this next one because we're working it again, but doing a hammer curl this time. So instead of being out, we are right in front. So I'm going to 12 pounds in each hand. Be extra careful during that lower. A lot is happening during that eccentric part of the movement. All right, time to alternate. I hope you are feeling how efficient and impactful this format is, especially when you're short on time. We can get so much work done. We can continue to meet our goals without having to work out for a super long time each day. I'm just going to even it out on the other side. All right, and then into the partials when you're ready. All right, overhead tricep extensions. I'm using 2 9-pound weights. It's important you are using 2 weights instead of 1 so we can get that alternation in. So up overhead, you can glue them together because we are just doing the full bilateral movement, keeping those elbows in the same spot, extending all the way through at the top. And again, bracing that lower body. I'm squeezing my glutes. I have a slight bend in my knees. My pelvis is curled under instead of arched. Okay, we're gonna split up those arms. So one at a time, very controlled. Keep the elbow in the same spot. Okay, I'm bringing them together again. I'm getting shaky. Partial reps. So again, you can do the upper part of the motion. You could start down in the back and just do little pulses. Very, very hard version right there. All right, halfway done with the triceps. Let's go into a tricep kickback. I'm going a little lighter, 6 pounds in each hand. And we're gonna start doing both at the same time. So we're hinged, rowing up. We're in position. Fully extending, trying to almost straighten that elbow. All right, let's keep those elbows tucked in. Alternate. Even it out if you need to, and then partial reps. So we just have about 20 seconds left. We've got to do our 2 holds, and we're done. Awesome. Okay, shake it out for 20 seconds. We are going to start with the bicep push-up hold. That's why we saw those in the warm-up, so you can get familiar with what that movement pattern feels like. We're just holding. There's no push-up. It's just that isometric. So you got the fingers fanned out. You're lining that up with your ribs, lining your wrists up with your ribs, and you're just holding. You can bring those arms into the side to help you. Remember, squeeze that lower body. We already just have about 10 seconds left right now. Whew. Let it shake, let it shake. Ooh, okay. Tricep dip hold. I am truly burning out right with you. This time fingers face our toes and we hold it down. You could also straighten those legs to up the ante here, make it a little bit harder. A few more seconds, let's do it. Whew. Can you believe we just did all of that in about 18 minutes? Let's go ahead and cool down. All right, for our cool down today, we are going through 6 exercises, 40 seconds each, and we're gonna do a lot of child's pose variations. So we're gonna be down on that mat or supportive surface for this whole time. So let's go ahead and begin. We're gonna start by adding a little bit of dynamic. So we're going to use some movement here. You're gonna sink down and around and back up. So you can start just like this, almost like you're in tabletop. You got those feet closer together, sinking into those hips, in, around, and up. Really draw a big circle, sink back into those legs. All right, coming into a side stretch. So I'm gonna sink back into that child's pose. I'm gonna walk my hands to one side so I can really feel it down this side here. I'm up on those fingertips for a little extra leverage through the chest. So we're gonna hold here for about half the time. And let's walk it over to the other side. So feeling that chest stretch down through your side body, into the shoulder. So many of you are probably familiar with the thread the needle. We're just going to bring a hand through and we're just going to stretch here. So I'm not necessarily twisting my shoulders. This is a very funky position, but it feels so good on that shoulder. I've got this other arm straight to remind me that I don't need to turn. Just kind of put some light pressure on that arm that is folded. Hopefully you can hear me. My mic is probably a little covered up here. One more deep breath. Okay, bring it fully up. We're going to do that on the other side. So I'm bringing that arm through. You can fold it whatever way feels good. I'm going to keep that palm down, reaching out. It's like you're kind of making a T with your hands. It's very similar to doing what would be a cross-body stretch if we were standing. But we get to use the weight of the upper body to help us sink a little bit deeper. All right, this time coming into the triceps, so up on those elbows, and then as you sink back, you can really feel that stretch in the arms. So the more you bring your hands closer to your head and bend at the elbow, the more you will feel this in your triceps. And then last one, we're going to come up to a cat-cow position. Drop the belly, gaze upwards, and do the opposite as you push your palms through the floor. Look towards your legs. Stretch out that back, that midsection in general. You took time for yourself. You didn't skip a workout. You're feeling amazing right now. That sense of accomplishment, you can now bring that with you into the rest of your day, the rest of your week. You should feel very proud of the effort you brought forth today. All right. That is all I've got for you. As always, I look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments down below. And this is a workout complete. I hope to see you all again very soon.